Hi everyone, welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the markets in EVE Online. I'm your host, delonewolf. So I've been taking it pretty easy so far last week in EVE Online. I've mostly been just in Highsec in Iona and been playing a little bit with Arvales and Cedar Balnit. So not a lot to report for EVE Online this week, but let's have a seat on the couch and take a look at what the market's been doing. I'm really curious to see what Plex does actually, and because I did sell all of my Plex and some of the other stuff as well. So as always, let us start with the minerals. That could be decently interesting. Let's have a look here at titanium prices. In GTA 482, that hasn't moved at all, I would say, from last week. Yeah, pretty much moving sideways. So no clear sign of either an uptrend or a continued downtrend at the moment. Pyrite, pretty much the same, pretty much flat. Current price 11.28 in station. Let's have a look then at Mixalon. Also decently flat, right around 40 ISK. So yeah, it's actually back down from when I did my Jita trade episode. It's down a few cents from then, but it's hanging around 41 ISK, so just a little bit above what I bought it, but also moving sideways. So that's all looking pretty damn flat. Let's have a look here at Isogen. A little bit more variation, but I think you can see though for a few weeks 5-day moving average well above 20-day moving average, then dipping down and now coming right back together. So this is basically a sideways movement for Isogen at 125 ISK, something like that on average, I think. Let's have a look here then at Megasite. Well, this is somewhat interesting. 1600. No, none of the data points really want to stay below there, so this might become a bottom for Megasite. Current prices, yeah, 1621. So it might just be that it will not break 1600, although it's still going down. Noxium also going down, but here again at 660. 5-day moving average comes right back up here. Let's have a look at current prices. 663. So it does look like Noxium also wants to form a bottom right here at the current price point of around 660. And then let's have a look here at Zydrine, which, well, has been moving quite sideways for a while now. Current prices 585 for Zydrine. And I think it's just one really bad data point here at the end, so I couldn't really tell you a lot about the movement. But yeah, looks to me like at least the downtrends are over. All of these are pretty much flat or finding their bottoms, and it's going to be interesting to see if all the new modules and chips that come with EVE Online Rubicon will actually be able to start an increase in price for minerals due to increased demand or not, which is honestly what I'm expecting a little bit, but it's going to be hard to materialize because at the moment everything has been going down for so long and now it's moving flat. So it's a bit underwhelming how much it's been moving over the last few weeks. So yeah, generally flat. Let's have a look then at Take One chips and see if those are also flat. I would say yes for the Drake. It's in fact still just below 42 million, so yeah, that's pretty much where you would expect it to be. The Maelstrom, oh man, this one is going down severely, look at that. Used to be, I would say 175, something like that. Current prices 165. I couldn't tell you what's behind this, but this is pretty interesting. Might even be worthy to buy a couple of Maelstroms in my opinion. The Omen going down a little bit as well, but I don't think it's that bad just yet. How is it compared? Yeah, 9.2 million, so it is definitely back down after a short spike. The Rock also going down. Look at that, all of these Take One ships have gone down substantially. Did it break 170? No, 173 for the Rock, so here the damage is still contained, but yeah, definitely a lot of a serious decrease in the price. And then the Talos, strangely enough, is a little bit higher, and again at 66 million, where it had a small dip below 65 million. So Take One ships going down in the last week, and out of the blue. I really have no clear explanation for this. Nothing from all of the announcements, I would say, would indicate that Take One ships would either become cheaper or more plentiful or anything like that. But yeah, here you go. It just happened. A lot of them are really on a serious downtrend. Next up, a few that I want to check for myself. Let's have a look at these Incognito accelerants and stuff from data sites, because they've actually been going up quite a bit. Here you can clearly see around May the huge drop with EVE Online Odyssey, where everything has become so much more accessible and a lot of people were doing a lot of sites. But you can already see also a bottom at around 2 million, and now it's heading back up towards 6 million, so back at 5.6. so yeah, definitely not bad. In fact, even if you compare this, it was 8 to 10 million before, heading back for 6 million. This is not a bad recovery of this market. So I would say after the initial rush of Odyssey, it looks like people have not been keeping up the same momentum, and that on at least some of the items here, the Incognito attainment is a bit of an exception. That one is still hanging around 3 million ISK. But yep, Incognito augmentation the same here. Let's have a look here. Well, that's just stuff that doesn't happen a lot. The parity one, that's decently flat between 2 and 3 million. Incognito process, this one is another one just like the accelerant that's known the bottom at around 2 million, but is now already back up to 4 million, and pre-Odyssey price was around 6 million. So it's definitely down from Odyssey, but after there is a bit of recuperation after the huge downfall that happened with Odyssey, which I think is pretty interesting, because I have noticed that I moved some of them from Jita, obviously the Incognito Symmetry. That one is just 700,000 IC, although it's been as low as 500, I think. So it recovered a little bit, but that one has become super common. And let's see, this is all, well, this is a new one as well, which is actually still trending down, but 6 million, that's still not bad for just one of these items. And here we have optimized Incognito augmentation as much as 25 million, that's not bad. So at least a couple of them, there has been a serious overreaction, and I would say data sites are still decent money, especially with some of them managing to come back quite a bit, from 2 to 6 million. That's not bad at all. Next up, Golden Pod. I've heard that some people, and I can't find it here, so that's gonna be in contracts. I've heard that some people actually have already received their collector's editions, and so let's see if I can find maybe some in contracts. Is it here? Where is my contracts page? Well, I guess we'll have to go for business contracts, available contracts, and then can I do a search here? No, here we go. Not armor repair, blueprint, delete all of that. Golden, let's see if we find anything like that. 2.3 billion, 44 million, that doesn't really seem to be anything. Search, any contracts? No, nothing for the Golden Pod, but yeah, I heard that someone, oops, I actually might want to keep the market window, that someone got potted in one, and it was valued at 1 trillion ISK on the kill board at first. But this is not a destroyable item, so if you have this implanted and you get potted, you still have it in your new clone. But at the moment it's a little bit out of whack, and I'm interested to see what this is worth. And oh, that's actually spoilerish, don't want to go there yet. But yeah, if you guys know what the Golden Pods are going for at the moment, I'm very interested what these very limited editions from the collector's editions are going for. And unfortunately, I mean, I would have expected this to be, oh, maybe I can look for pod here. Is it tradable here? Spodium, skills, spodium? No, so I suspect it would have to be somewhere in the implants category. What does boosters do? Nope. It's not in, and not in skills either, so I'm not even sure where to really look for the Golden Pod, but I'm very interested in that, because I heard some crazy stories of them going for like 55 billion and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try and find out for next week. Let's have a quick look here at the Take-Two stuff. Absolution still trending down below 200 million, and not enough movement to be trade worthy. Astarte, he's holding on here after that drop towards, let's have a quick look here, 251, 252, 238 for buyers. I think that's actually up several million from last week. But yeah, maybe a couple buy orders might be possibly a good deal at the moment. Claymore, yeah, pretty flat around 220, although I can see here at the tail end, 5-day moving average going back up here. If this is another one of these spikes in the workings, that could be somewhat interesting. Damnation going down, and on the 1-year chart, well, it still has a way to go to be down to the lowest point of the year. And be careful with this one. EOS, oh, very new, very big spike here. EOS current price 326. So yeah, if you manage to buy some here below 300 or close to 300 million, you'd have made a pretty good deal here. At the moment, if you have them, sell them, the EOS, I would say. Guardian is going back down, but it's still a little early. I think if you can pick them up below 125, something like that, yeah, close to this buy order, maybe might be worth it. But yeah, here it's got another spike above 140. That's not been too long ago, so yeah, there's potential in the Guardian for trading as well. Nighthawk is doing pretty much the same here, dipping below 210, still 218 sellers, 198 buyers. That's a decent margin if you can pick some up below 200 million. That might not be a bad deal, although be careful for that, because I do see substantial amounts of time where the Nighthawk has been below 200 million. So be careful here, but potentially maybe on buy orders for Nighthawks might be good. Sleipnir still going down on a 1-year low, and I'm not really sure when this is going to stop. And finally, the Vulture, pretty much the same. People were very excited for that when the command chips changes were announced, but now it's going back down and it's back to its normal price point of around 210 million ISK, so not too much action in the Vulture market. Quick look at some of the Tech3 stuff, but yeah, Legion still going down. They did break 160, 163. Loki still going down. This one might have broken 160. Yeah, 157 for a Loki. Proteus going for 156, that's way down as well. And Tengu still going down as well, holding on just above 160, I suspect. Yep, here you go, 162.26. So yeah, these are still at all-time lows, all of these Tech3 ships, and in fact the Loki broke 160, same with the Proteus. So yeah, I wouldn't want to produce too much Tech3 stuff at the moment, but that's pretty bad chart for Tech3 ships at the moment. The Proteus managed to hold on quite well for a decent amount of time, but now together with Tech1 ships, for some reason they are way down. Let's have a look here at melted nanoribbons then, which have known a small jump, tried to reach 5 million, but didn't quite make it, and they're on their way back towards 4.6, something like that. Current price is stationed 4.8. So no sell opportunity for my investment just yet. I would have hoped for something like 5 to 5.5, but you can see the volatility of this melted nanoribbons market with a lot of sharp uptick. So I would not be surprised that it's just a rest and that it might push up towards 5.5 soon, because well, it's once again at a very low point on the chart over the entire year, basically here at the same as this small bottom here at around 4.6, and here we have this again. So if it goes back up, you know, you might indeed see 5.5, 5.4, something like that as a possibility for a sale, and I'm hoping for that. This is one of my investments, although granted a pretty limited one. I'll have a look at the Marauders, because those have come on CC. Golem just below 1 billion. The Chronos holding on well above a billion, 1.050. The Paladin 950 million. So this one is really moving quite sideways with a big downtrend here. Look at that, that was 100 million less. I'd say around 10, maybe 15th of September, something like that. So definitely there was some opportunity here. but it's trading at around 950 million at the moment. And then the Varger, this one is going up and trying to come in line with them, 950 million as well, but nothing too dramatic, so I don't think people are expecting this to become like the ultimate weapon or anything like that. Quick look at the fuels. Mar fuel blocks flat around 15k, Caldari fuel blocks towards 16k, but it's nothing too dramatic. These are Goon ice interdictions that you see here with the big spikes, but overall still not a lot of action. At least nothing in the basics is changing. So Galente fuel blocks, it tried, but it's already back below 15k. Yep. And then the Minmatar fuel blocks, it tried here again, you know, a big spike here towards 16k, and it's already back down towards 14k. So all of this is overall still pretty damn stable, not a lot of movement in the fuel market. Quick look at R64, dysprosium going up significantly. This was also already visible last week, but maybe the dev block on the siphon unit is exacerbating this movement a little bit, because it's actually really pretty damn high, reaching 50k at the moment. Yeah, almost 50k for sell orders. Neodymium, yeah, going up here a little bit. I think this is definitely a movement from the dev block, because the new addition from this dev block is that the siphon unit will actually automatically also destroy a part of the moon goo that it steals. So this should in fact have an influence on availability. And so ProMedium, which was moving sideways for quite a bit, also decided to move up quite a lot. And Thulium, it's not as visible, but let's have a quick look here. This bottom 5-day moving average is very close to 14k. What are the prices at the moment? 18k. So it's just that the chart is lagging behind a little bit, but all R64 products are definitely going up, and I think this is that people do expect an impact on supply by these siphon units because they destroy a part of what they steal. So very interesting, and I sort of like the siphon unit. I'm really excited to see what kind of shenanigans people are going to pull with that. Anything else? Fuels, Marauders, Minerals, R64, and all the tech ships. I think we've had pretty much everything. I will touch on planetary interaction stuff, I think. I think that's gonna be here then. Materials. Let's see. Planetary materials. I'll just have a quick look at, for instance, water is from gas planets. Well, it was up a little bit with the POCO change announcement, but nothing too drastic here. Toxic metals going up a little bit. Silicon up again on the announcement, but then moving sideways. Reactive metals up a little bit. Well, I would say most of them look to be going up or sideways. So oxidized compounds, one of the ones that is not moving, but here again, crystal chiral structures up as well. Biomass up a little and moving sideways. Biofuels up quite a lot. Very interesting. I'm just quickly going over some of this stuff, but a lot of the refined ones going up as well. Coolants, well, that came back a little bit, but enriched uranium up, fertilizers up. So yeah, a lot of the PI stuff is going up, and I think this is due to the POCO changes. Because people also suspect that this will have an impact on supply. So you can see there are some exceptions like the transmitters, but overall most of these charts are definitely up for PI stuff, which I think is good news for anyone that actively does this, like Ken from Ken's Crazy Gaming, who's doing a lot of PI in nullsec. I think these are charts he'll like, and then I think that's going to be it. We'll end up with the Plex. And oh my god, it's actually taking off towards 610. I did not expect this to happen here because Odyssey is earlier than the last winter expansion, and over here the big spikes were actually over mostly. But here it does look like Plex wants to give it a try for new highs. So in fact, yeah, 610 million ISK for a Plex in JITA at the moment. I sold all of mine for 600 or 594. I made 750 million on 8 Plex, but apparently once again I was a little bit too early. This could have meant, I would say, easy sales for, well, actually look at these buy orders, 601. So, well, actually, yeah, I think I could have sold most of them for like 605, which would have indeed made me another maybe 30-40 million ISK or something like that, just because I was a little bit early. But I was not expecting this second spike to materialize and break the first one anymore, just because of how close Rubicon is. And if you look at the rest of this chart, these the big spikes are actually over from last year. So I did not think this was going to materialize, but yeah, this might be going higher if my first expectations for the Plex market can still come true. Then we might definitely see prices as high as 620, 630 at some point. 620, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. You know, you can see it's definitely taking off. So I was a little bit early with actually selling mine, but I'd rather take the profit than risk more of the profit. But yeah, if you still have some of the Plex hanging around, this could definitely be a very good time to sell. In fact, we are at the highest point for the entire year already with the current price. 610 is right here on this point. And even last year, Plexes didn't reach this anymore. They did just for a small part right here in front of this chart. So I'm surprised it's still happening. But it is happening. Plex are taking off again above 600. They reached 610. Let's see if they can make 620. Anyways, that's it for this week, guys. This was Eve Talk, your weekly look at the market. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you all next time.